Black Ops 6 Season 1 is finally here, and my goal in this video is to catch you up on everything new, except for, there's gonna be some YouTubers that go over all the patch notes, all the nitty gritty, like, oh, this weapon's DPS was changed by 0.01%. We're not going over all that, just all the new content and all the new changes that weren't highlighted by Call of Duty themselves that I feel like everybody should know going into this season. So, let's get into it. Hey y'all, so your buddy Grotesque here made a bit of a funny error. So in the intro there how I said, oh, there were some changes made that they didn't mention that you should know? Well, throughout my entire recording session, after going back and looking at my footage, I realized I never actually talked about said change. And that change is the fact that even though they said that the XP tokens from MW2 and 3 would not carry over to Black Ops 6, for some reason they actually did, which I am pretty salty about in hindsight because towards the end of MW3's lifecycle, I was spamming my XP tokens like crazy, just trying to hit max level, trying to use them up, because I was like, you know what, these won't transfer over to Black Ops 6 or whatever. But now, for some reason, they decided to bring them over to Black Ops 6. So if you didn't know that, or if you were like me and were believing that they weren't going to carry over, well, they ended up carrying over. So hopefully you weren't like me and ended up splurging them towards the end of MW3, and hopefully you still have some to use. Otherwise, well, it sucks to be us, I guess. First things first, the very first thing you're gonna see when entering the game, because, when you open Call of Duty, it doesn't take you straight to the menu. No, it gives you a huge advertisement for the Battle Pass. And yeah, similar to Modern Warfare 2, where they changed it in that game to the whole grid system, well, they're changing it again. Except they're also not changing it again. So it's not really complicated, it's just, it's kind of quirky. Call of Duty does that thing where they like to change things every so often. So it's very similar in style in terms of aesthetics to how it was back in Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard and MW19, where it looks linear at first, and you can set it up to be that way. So if you just want to turn it on to be auto so it just goes through all the pages, you can do that. But if you want to turn it to not be automatic, say if you're a free player and there's only so many tiers that you can go through, either that or if you're just one of those players where you're like, hey, there's a very specific reward that I want on this page, but I don't necessarily want this one yet, or you're just trying to prioritize getting like the new weapons first, then basically what you can do is set it to where you choose your rewards manually, and after you redeem so many rewards, it's going to unlock the next page. So for example, when you first get the Battle Pass, you're only going to have like page 1 open to you, I believe. I believe it's only page 1 after you get 3 rewards, then page 2 opens. You do like 3 or 4 rewards on page 2, then, whenever to the next tab, then page 3 will open, and so on. And, if you go through and say you redeem all of page 1, then it will open up not only page 2, but also page 3 because you opened up the 7 rewards needed to open up page 3. I don't know if it's exactly 7, it might only be 6, but it's somewhere in that ballpark. So if you're trying to prioritize getting the new weapons first, I would highly recommend doing the bare minimum in terms of rewards required, like unlocking them to get to the next page, so then you can get to page 3 and subsequently page 6. I wasn't smart in retrospect. I was just going through and like, oh, I have all these tokens because I have the Black Cell Battle Pass. So I just went through and redeemed all these pages, and then I was like, oh, well, I'm able to get the, the weapon on page 3, but now I'm kind of behind when it comes to getting up to page 6. So I was like, you know what? I really want this Black Cell skin here for Bailey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish out page 4, and then I'm going to skip ahead to page 6, get the new weapon, the Krig C, and then I'm going to backtrack and go back here to page 5 and unlock all of this stuff then once I have the new weapons. Which, yeah, speaking of new weapons, obviously I didn't get to use the new Krig C yet because I was stupid in retrospect, but I did get to use the SOG, which, yeah, it's a pretty powerful SMG, no surprise there. Every time a new weapon's added to Call of Duty, especially when it's an SMG, yeah, it's pretty powerful. Haven't gotten really to, gotten the chance to use it in Warzone, but in terms of multiplayer, yeah, this thing shreds through the enemies like a knife going through warm butter. You know what I mean? It's pretty powerful. If I'm gonna be 100% honest, at first I was just gonna grind out Dark Matter for it immediately so I could show it off to you guys in today's video, but I was like, you know what? I'm going on the Nebula grind right now. I'll get to this when I get to this. I'm still working over there, working towards Opal, I think is how you're supposed to say. I don't know if it's Opal or Opal, but I'm working towards that for AR, so I'll get back over here and do the new Dark Matter weapons at some point. And then in terms of the Black Cell Battle Pass, obviously, as usual, if there's a skin in the Battle Pass for most of them, there's going to be the normal variant. So we have the new Operator Sev here, but then there's also the Black Cell variant of Sev. And then once you get all the way up to tier 100, we'll go ahead and look at that in a minute. There's an even crazier version of that. But there is a Black Cell Battle Pass exclusive operator named Goliath right here, which looks absolutely insane. You got like, the fire animations going through it, like the whole molten rock theme just looks absolutely awesome. You get the Black Cell clan tag, a Who's Laughing Now finishing move, the Boiling Point blueprint for the Goblin Mark II, as well as 1100 COD points. Also, if I forgot to mention it before, yes, the Black Cell Battle Pass does does come with 20 tier skips. So, you know, if you want some of those right off the rip, that's a good way to do that. Otherwise, let's go over here to the new Operator Sev, and as I promised, we have, you know, just like the basic Battle Pass tier 100 skin right here, and even that itself does look really cool, the opulent skin. But if you have the Black Soul Battle Pass, you basically get that, but you know, animated, you got like the flames and the smoke coming off of it. She's got like the golden, yellow, orangish eyes and the hair and everything like that. So, you know, it's much like previous Black Cell Battle Passes where the skins are similar enough, but the Black Cell version is just going to be like an animated, crazy version of it. But otherwise, they both look really cool. All the skins look really sick. And no matter what operator you look at, you know, you're going to see tons of new skins. So, well, you know, there's a few that haven't gotten any new skins yet, but like Bailey, for example, she finally has some new skins. Stone finally has some new skins. Carver finally has some new skins. There's also some bundles that are out now, which look insane, which we'll get to later in the video. We also have a new score streak called the Hand Cannon, which has obviously been in many previous COD games. In some games, it's been as simple as just being the Hand Cannon like it was in Cold War, but then we've also had other iterations of it, like the Annihilator back in Black Ops 3. You know, they're all pretty similar in the way that they work. Unfortunately, this is not available yet. This will be unlocked in the hit list event, it says. We have no idea when that is actually going live. We just know that it's coming out at some point during the season's launch window. Obviously, the season's already out, and the event still isn't out, so not really sure when it's happening. It'll be happening at some point, but as soon as that season actually, or as soon as the event actually happens, we'll be able to unlock the score streak for not only multiplayer, but also zombies, which would be really cool, so we can go for the gold and diamond badges for that over there. And before we get to some of the new content, it is worth noting that the store, they did not hold back. I thought originally, okay, we were gonna see like 1 or 2 bundles. No, dog. They pulled out all the stops. If you come down here, right, because they have like a new way to organize all this stuff. You have the bundles that just have blueprints, you have the ones that just have operators, you know, then you have new gobblegums that you can buy as well, which I guess we'll go ahead and go over now. Yeah, you can purchase gobblegums, which we basically had the feeling that was going to be happening before, since you could do that back in Black Ops 3, except back in Black Ops 3, it was like, it was basically just gambling, right? Like, you had no idea what gobblegums you were going to get. You could spend $100 and never get a Perkaholic. Here, at the very least, you know what you're going to buy before you buy it, and it's very similar to Dr. Monty's Factory in that game, where it's going to refresh every few hours as to what you can buy, and obviously, you can still earn gobblegums in game, so it's not like you have to pay money to get these gobblegums. It's not inherently pay to win, because you can still play the game and get them at a very fast rate and a very fair rate. I have tons of Ultra gobblegums that I'm just sitting on just from playing the game, so honestly, I don't even feel incentivized to buy these. Hopefully, me saying that won't sway Activision to, like, tune down the rate that you earn gobblegums, because that would be pretty scummy. But, like, you know, I'm sitting on so many ultras that, you know, I don't really feel the need to buy any of these, nor do I think anybody else should. But they've also set things up a bit differently, because obviously, you know, in the past you would click on a bundle and you'd see, okay, yeah, there's the skin, you got all these blueprints, all this crazy stuff. But now they organize it to where it's like, okay, do you just want to see what operators are available in the store? Well, then you can just come here, look at the operator, see if there's a skin that appeals to you, and then it'll take you straight to the bundle. It would be pretty cool if maybe they could split up some of these bundles. So say you just want the skin, but you don't care about the blueprints. You buy the skin for 1,600 COD points. Or if you just want the blueprints, you buy those for 1,000 COD points. You know what I mean? Like something to like split it up, or maybe if you buy the whole bundle, then you get it for a bit of a discounted price compared to if you would buy all of it separately. That might make things a bit too complicated, but you know, I just think that, you know, that could be... Dude, I can't even take it seriously when I'm looking at this bundle, man. But you know, some of these aren't too extreme. You got like the Emerald Knight, and then this one I really like here. It's the Exterminator. Whoa, it took a minute to load in, but the Exterminator skin for Gray. That one's honestly, you know, I love it. But then they got the whole Mastercraft $30 Dragon Knight bundle right here from West Point. Like, what in the world am I even looking at, brother? And they also brought back, you know, the skins for the individual items. So say if you want to put like a skin on your frag grenade, you can do that. For example, here you got this for the drill charge, and then they have a new blueprint here for the SOG. So if you don't want to earn it through the battle pass, you can get this crazy thing, man. This looks like something out of Diablo. If I'm gonna be completely honest, you know, I don't mind the bundles. I actually think the bundles are really cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to buy this. In fact, I'm actually gonna wishlist it, because it does look really cool. So if I get to a point where I want to spend some COD points, you know, it does look really cool. It's just, it kind of catches you off guard for a minute, because like from launch up until now, things have been relatively grounded. You know, you've had some of the Vault Edition skins where you're going around as like Klaus or Brutus or one thing or another, but then you click on this and it's just like, this is Dragon Knight. So it's not like the skin itself is inherently funny. It's just kind of funny going from like how grounded things were to just being like, no, you know what, we're pulling all the stops, season 1 straight straight off the rip, here's the crazy animated skins. And honestly, I'm all here for it. People get so butthurt about it. They're like, oh man, I wish when things were realistic. But man, COD has always been, you know, kind of crazy and quirky. Sure, when you look at like Call of Duty Ghosts and before that, things were definitely a lot more grounded. But even when you look at a game like Black Ops 3, which is one of the, you know, like it's widely regarded by the whole community as being one of the best Call of Duty games, and we were doing dabs, whips, and nays in that game. So yeah, I don't want to hear it. Just let us have fun with the video game. You had Snoop Dogg voice packs and freaking Call of Duty Ghosts even. But anyways, yeah, that kind of covers our basis for the store. So yeah, like I said, no stops were pulled there. Tons of stuff available in the store. And then we have a new mode called Ransack. And essentially, if you know the mode Grind, where you kill enemies, you grab the tags, you take it to a deposit box, it's sort of like that, but a little different. So rather than killing enemies to get tags, there's going to be like designated spots around the map that'll pop up on your HUD and be like, hey, come here, steal the gold, take it back to your base, and, you know, deposit it, and that's essentially the mode. So if you've played Grind, it's sort of like that, but with a twist. It's actually a lot of fun. It gets to be really chaotic. The first time I played it on the new map Extraction, which was really cool, which we'll go ahead and talk about that here. Season 1 Mosh Pit. We have 3 new maps in the game. Extraction, Hideout, and Heirloom. My favorite of which being Heirloom, just because it's a face-off 6v6 map, and it is super chaotic. Honestly, I think in terms of like shrieking out and, you know, like getting some of your challenges done, if you're trying to do melees, I'd say that Stakeout is still the place to go. But in terms of just like overall shrieks, I'd probably say that Heirloom is actually the best map for that now. It's just super chaotic, and there's enough cover spots to where like if you're using a ranged weapon, you'll be able to shriek out pretty easy. Sure, Stakeout still has like the element of surprise when you're going through the vents and, you know, going through the different rooms. So but I don't know, I just feel like in terms of actual weapons, I was shrieking out way more in Heirloom compared to Stakeout. But again, if you're doing melees, still stick to Stakeout if I were you. Otherwise, we do have a new playlist in the game called Radioactive 24/7, which is just a mosh pit of Nuketown and Warhead. So you just kind of goes between those modes. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that covers everything new here in multiplayer. We covered all the crazy bundles, the battle pass, the 2 new weapons, the operators, the new maps and mode. So now I think we're safe to move over to Warzone. So over here in Warzone, we have a new map, not for Standard Battle Royale, but rather just for Resurgence. As of now, I believe we'll be getting a new map at some point. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they stick with Urzikstan for the entire year. I don't see that happening. I really do think that at some point we'll end up seeing a new Battle Royale map, or at least like a switch up to it. I'm not exactly sure though. You know, I don't know any inside information. I'm not like those big Call of Duty YouTubers. I'm just some dude doing this from his room. I just make these videos out of pure passion and love for the game. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, for now we still have Urzikstan, but the new Resurgence map, Area 99, is a lot of fun. Plunder still takes place on Urzikstan, and of course we have Warzone Boot Camp. But the main thing I really wanted to highlight here is, well, there's a few things. First things first, obviously, now we have access to Modern Warfare 2 as well as Modern Warfare 3 weapons here, which is pretty cool. We have a mosh pit of all these modes, and it's taking me back to Call of Duty Vanguard when we had Modern Warfare 2019, Cold War, and, you know, like World War II Vanguard weapons all available in Warzone, and it's getting to that point again. We have 3 games worth of weaponry in here. A lot of weapons, a lot of stuff to balance. It's gonna be a pretty crazy year for the balancing team over at, you know, Raven and all the other COD dev teams. I kind of feel bad for them. But the main thing I wanted to highlight, actually, before I highlight that, there's also this new skins thing where, like, if you have a certain skin for, you know, like an attachment, you can just switch over to that, which is really cool. I'm glad that they finally added that. But now we have the new Warzone Mastery camos. I don't know if they showed these off before, but, you know, my first time seeing them was yesterday, just because I always avoid the advertising materials for this stuff, just because I want to be surprised and see these mastery camos for myself for the first time in game. So we have Gold Tiger, which is gold, and then we have King's Ransom, which is like the diamond / opal equivalent, which looks really cool with the way that like the red the jewels on it, I guess, kind of flash as you go. Then you have the Catalyst camo, which looks really cool as well. You know, you got like the flowing greenish bluish highlights that go through the hex designs, and, you know, overall it looks really cool. It sort of reminds me of like Molten Obsidian from last year, if you guys remember that weapon prestige camo, except with more of like a hexy design, goes a bit slower, but it still looks really sleek and black with, again, the occasional green / blue / purples flowing through it. And then finally, we have the Abyss camo. I know I have a ton of like blueprints and black cell stuff all over my weapon, but, you know, you can still see the camo through it, and yeah, man. This one looks crazy. If it shifts between like black and white, and then you have like the greenish blues that like completely take over the weapon, and then the parts that were white before turn to black, and yeah, it is an absolutely insane camo. I will definitely be going for it. I've made a little bit of progress, and by a little bit, I mean I have gotten 3 eliminations, so I got a while to go. If anything, I'm probably just going to grind out Plunder for this. You guys know me, you know, I enjoy Warzone, but I'm not the best at it, not even going to lie, so I'm just going to play Plunder. I'm hoping that the eliminations over there count. They obviously counted in Resurgence, and they will count in normal Battle Royale. Hoping that the same is true for Plunder. We'll see, though. Thankfully, the challenge is pretty easy. You know, get 5 kills while being the most wanted. Get 3 kills without dying. 5 kills on enemies affected by your stun grenades or flashes. Get 5 kills without dying twice, which if you're playing Plunder, super easy. So again, I'm hoping that the Plunder kills will count. But otherwise, yeah, that covers most of our bases over in Warzone. Again, we had the complete integration. Oh, and also, not only can you use your weapons over here now, but you can also use, you know, your Modern Warfare operators, which is pretty cool. And I don't think this is supposed to be in the game yet, but we can see the replacer in menu. Oh, wow. Ape. Oh, wow. Okay, the replacer, Captain Price. What is even happening? Anyway, when you try to click customize on the replacer, since the guy, you know, the operator isn't actually available in the game yet, it just sort of kicks you back to the main menu. But the replacer is here. We can see him in game. We just can't buy the bundle yet, which is really unfortunate, man. Dude, I'm so glad they brought back the replacer for the marketing for Black Ops 6. It gave me so much nostalgia to be straight back to like 2012, 2013 when they did, you know, when they had the replacer there for the Black Ops 2 commercials for the DLCs and all that. It was just... oh, man, I am so glad that they brought him back, man. The replacer, an absolute legend. But besides all that, yeah, that basically covers our bases over in Warzone. You know, just a complete integration over there. Another thing worth mentioning is that right here in the main menu, you will see a ranked play tab now, which will be available in 6 days, 4 hours from the time you're recording this. So that's pretty cool. You know, similar to previous COD games, the higher you rank, the more cool skins you're going to get, the more cool rewards you'll get. They also have a pretty gnarly skin for when you get within, like, the top 250 in the world, which I'm definitely not going to get to, just because I don't feel like sweating that much and grinding ranked specifically that much, but you know, we'll show that off in a moment. Finally, we'll go ahead and go over to zombies to cover everything new here, and in terms of everything new, it's pretty straightforward. We finally got the directed mode, where if you're a bit of a newer player or more casual player and need help completing the Easter eggs, this mode is for you. You click on Liberty Falls or Terminus. I feel like most players could probably get through Liberty Falls just fine on their own. Maybe some new players would really struggle with that one. I could see that. But Terminus definitely, yeah, I could see a lot of new players definitely grabbing towards the directed mode here. So again, if you're a new player or if you just want some help with the Easter eggs and don't necessarily feel like relying on a YouTube guide, this would definitely be the mode for you. So I'm glad that they finally added something like this to the game, so now all players can experience the story, but I'm also glad that they're staggering the release so then the Easter egg hunters and, you know, people like me where, you know, you just kind of want to do it on your own without the help, can still go in and do their thing, but then a little bit later on, whenever like the next Reloaded or just new season drops, then they bring out the directed update. I think that's a great way to kind of get the best of both worlds there. But also, as I just mentioned, yeah, if you get within the top 250 for ranked play, you get this absolutely insane skin, which does look really cool, but I'm not definitely gonna go there. I'm gonna go for this, right? Like, I'm at least gonna go for some of these. Might go for gold, I don't even know if I'm gonna go for platinum. I'll probably go for gold at the very least, just so that I can at least get that, because that looks pretty cool. You know, I'd love to get, like, diamond or, like, especially crimson, since red's my favorite color, but I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily feel like grinding that much. You also don't necessarily have to play ranked play. Like, if you want the one with the hood like this, then you can play ranked play, but otherwise you can just buy a bundle and you'll get this one, which does look a bit different. Personally, I like the one that you have to earn to get, the one with the hood, but, you know, if you just want to buy a bundle just to get something that looks similar outright, you can also do that. But anyways, I believe that covers all of our bases, all the stuff in multiplayer, zombies, Warzone. Obviously, that's not going to be everything, right? There's going to be a lot more coming throughout the season with the new hit list event, then there's going to be stuff coming with Season 1 Reloaded, whether that be new maps, new weapons, because we're going to be getting 7 weapons in total this season, then obviously the hand cannon will become available. But, yeah, otherwise, you know, the Battle Pass, Warzone, all that stuff, I believe we covered all our bases, so yeah, I got some grinding to do, as I'm sure you do as well, so I'll leave it there, and see you guys tomorrow for a new video. But anyway, as always, massive shout out to all the Patrons and channel members to get all doing the low baller tier, and an even bigger shout out to the big baller tier, Milasking and Big Daddy Matty, and the biggest shout out to all the G tier, Run Events, and Let's Scroll. Thank you guys so much. You guys are literal legends. I love you. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.